Okay, let's begin by introducing the supplied parts and hardware. We have left side, right side crash bars. We have a cross brace. This cross brace here is for the skid plate, but in case you're installing our skid plate, this will have to be mounted with the crash bars in junction. If you're not installing the skid plate, you can disregard this part here. The supplied hardware, 4 M6 by 20 millimeter long Allen bolts, double washers, and nylock nuts for them. And then we have 2 M8 by 30 millimeter long Allen bolts and washers. And we also have 8 by 35s plus washers. 2 M12 by 80 millimeter long hex set bolts plus washers. And 2 M10 by 40 millimeter long Allen bolts plus washers. And 2 identical spacers for the crash bars installation only. The recommended tools, 17 millimeter and 10 millimeter wrench / spanner, ratchet extension, universal joint, 10 and 17 millimeter hex sockets, T55 Torx. This is optional to remove one of the OEM bolts. And then we have 8, 6, 5, and 4 millimeter Allen sockets, or you can use Allen keys if that's what you have. Okay, we recommend that you remove the seat first. And then partially you remove the side panel. And then you can remove this bolt at the bottom of the plastic panel using a 4 millimeter Allen socket or Allen key. Push the plastic panel to the side gently. And then take out that bolt. Only one side first. Do not take the bolt out on both sides. We also highly recommend that you use a scissor lift or some sort of hydraulic jack to keep the engine in place. It can sag if you remove a bunch of bolts. Okay, now we're going to remove the M12 OEM bolt. You can use either a 17 millimeter hex socket or you can use a T55 Torx. This is one of our mounting points over here. Not this. Do not take this bolt out. The one in front of it is the one that we're going to end up using, that mounting hole. Very important, when you're removing this bolt, there's an OEM washer. Most likely that's going to fall out of here. Do not forget to put it back in as you're installing the left side crash bar, okay? Put this back in place. So back here, we're going to put the 10 by 40 millimeter long bolt. Right here is the 12 by 60. So gently put this in place. Hand thread the first bolt just a couple of times. And then if you want, so you don't end up scratching up the plastic, you can put some masking tape, for example, down here, if you want to. Okay, now the 12 by 60, don't forget the OEM washer. Back in there, and then a 12 by 60, push it through. Be very careful because that is a fine thread. Turn that a couple of times too, and then you can proceed. Okay, so now we're going to put this bolt in. There's not a lot of space. Just be patient. Find the best angle. Don't forget to put blue Loctite on this bolt. And then we're going to proceed with the bottom one. If you are installing a skid plate, don't forget to put the bracket in place. This is the skid plate bracket and it has to go underneath like so. And then you can put in the bolt. Okay, we're going to repeat the very same steps on the right side as well. Remove this bolt. And then the plastic panel is loose. You can push it to the side. Again, if you want, you can put some masking tape on here so you don't end up scratching the plastic panels. And then you can begin to remove the OEM bolts. All right, right side's gonna go on now. Exact same process. First bolt, it's the 10x40. And this is a fine pitch, so thread this bolt very carefully. You don't want to cross thread this, like so. Leave it loose. Okay, next step is to install the cross brace. Grab your 6x20 bolts and the washers and the nylock nuts. So essentially now we're done with the installation of the crash bars. You can now go ahead and gradually tighten all the bolts and nuts. The torque specs for the 6mm diameter bolt, that's 10 Newton meter. And then the 8mm down and up here, that's 23 Newton meter. As for the bolts that go into the engine block, you got to refer to the OEM torque specs. So should you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via email info@outbackmotortek.com, or you can call toll free 877-931-3636.